So my dear friends, we are back at the Powers of Alignment POA podcast again. Today's topic we'll be talking about something a little bit more hardly discussed among men. That is, how do we maintain our masculine energy and transmute it to more effective energy in our daily lifestyle? And today's topic is, of course, a more controversial topic, but I think we need to touch about this, especially for men out there. How do we convey this energy, what we call from lust to leadership? And this sexual energy that we have inside ourselves is not a curse. It is our source of power, and in fact, if you know how to hold and transmute it, it can be something that is very powerful for you to regain control in all areas of your life. And once again, welcome to our POA podcast, Powers of Alignment, where your attraction starts from within yourself. So my name is Paul, and today we are diving deep into something that most men will not talk about, but every man feels this drive inside ourselves, this masculine drive, or we call it sex drive. And there are days when it is strong, we feel motivated, and we feel that anything is possible. But when there are days when our energy doesn't seem to be flowing in the direction that we want it to be, then there will be aches, disappointment, or probably resistance and fire that will be coming up. And what does it mean to transmute this energy into power, clarity, and leadership in all areas of our life? So let's take a look at this. Let's go deep and honest into this topic itself.
In non-Muslim countries, it's not easy to have.
And most, you see, the thing that most men, you see, let's skip. Let me just put my music aside. Let's get honest. I think most men think that whenever this energy arises, there's a need to release or get it out. And it's not the truth all the time. But what actually happens when you chase with this fire, let me say this fire burns towards this particular person or this particular substance or this visual effect, and it becomes just a meaningless pursuit to release. And after, when men give in and cave into this feeling, and we chase towards that release, moments after that, there will be a crash of emptiness, probably restlessness, and maybe even shame. I know too, because I'm a man myself, and that is when even me as a married man, my dear friends, it doesn't happens in our life all the time wherever we want our energy to go, and in fact it is tougher. Why? Because when we let this fire or this masculine energy control us, and we think that we need to go to this particular person or channel in order to feel alive, that means we are being directed by this energy. We are being controlled and outsourced by this power. And whatever it takes for us to gain that access, that visual or that person, we will do whatever it takes to get the approval so that we get that release and direction in that order. And that becomes like chasing for approval, instead of us being grounded and anchored in our presence, sitting with this fire. And in business and relationship, we will feel it. Why? Because we will not be so sharp when we are being allured, drawn away, triggered by certain direction that doesn't give us the mental groundedness and clarity of what we should be doing in line with our purpose. And that is where hesitation happens. Like, okay, I need to do something to that person in order to get her approval for me to transmute my energy there. Then I will start to drift off who I usually am, what's my grounded space, in order to get that approval. And that's where the old POA will come in. Manipulation, seduction, facilitation, charm. And that's where the direction is moved towards there to get that approval in that direction, whether to get the resources or get the person's approval for us to channel that direction there. And that's where we lose pivot, lose ground of our groundedness itself. And that is where we will start performing. Means I want to do something to impress that person or to get their resources, go out of our way in order to be able to release my masculine energy in that direction. I'll start to perform in order to get it. I'll try to attract attention, probably to a particular person. That's where we lose our alignment and focus, not refo and redirected at performance rather than alignment. And so how do we actually do this? You see, that's the thing. Okay, Paul, you talk about this leakage of masculine energy or this redirection that throws us off our alignment. Then how do we effectively transmute this, right? How do we transmute this energy that we have that we cannot deny? We don't suppress. Many men out there, when this energy or this fire starts burning, it depends on your lifestyle and your drive. Some can be a few days, some can be a few weeks when we reaches its peak. And as we are reaching its peak itself, how do we stay grounded and aligned to our purpose and pivot rather than gradually being led away by that fire? And this is what most ancient discipline know, but today, year 2025, a lot of modern men neglect and forget. But do remember this, no? Our body as a man are no different from bodies of ancient men thousands of years ago. And how do they effectively overcome and create greatness in their life and control this energy rather than let this energy leak or let it control them? Our masculine sexual energy is creative energy. It builds life. It empowers vision for those who use it with a bigger purpose. But the thing is this, when it starts to grow and expand, some young men, or even most men, they use it to chase women. They use it to perform and attract women attention because it gives the man validation. And as the energy starts to burn, little did many men know that they start to drawn to this feminine direction, whether they end up overindulging in music or whether they get buried in emotions, or even more challenging is they get led astray by sirens and women of society, and some might not even be the primary partner. And even for primary partners, the wife or sometimes your partner or girlfriend wants you to stay at home, and instead of going out there creating what we want to create, we ended up in the comfort of the arms of our woman at the time that we know we shouldn't be. And that's where we know we start to leak and lose our mission, our vision. You see, our fire is this. It is in our body. We can transmute it to something that is of our vision and our purpose, or we can use it to exercise and build our body, or maybe even into creative arts. Turn it into innovation ideas into your business. And many men, if you do know, those who are constantly releasing and empty, you realize there's a lack of presence in the conversation that you have with them. And of course, this comes with you yourself being grounded and being able to hold the fire in order to sense that kind of presence that these people have or the absence of. And this is something that is present in all of us, the ability to sense this masculine presence, the ability to hold a fire. And it is especially more sensitive when women can smell and sense whether you are a man who are able to hold a fire, or you're someone with just a little bit of allure, you can be easily led astray. Okay, so just give me a second here. So we are not talking about suppressing it, because today, as men ourselves, we know the more things we suppress, the more it represses and explodes. So how do we use it to channel and fuel our purpose exactly in the direction that we intend to? Because we don't have to act on every urge, you see. If it's as an attractive man, as a power of attractive man, if we act on every urge, we will end up chasing of the wind. And if there's always wind everywhere, we will end up everywhere, anywhere, not building our purpose anytime. So the ability to use this fire to hold it and transmute it, that it becomes naturally magnetic, rather than focusing it on performance to get people in. That's another art itself. And how do we really do that? What are some common practices that I myself advocate For men today, you ought to learn how to harness and transmute this fire. So in my own routine itself, I use pausing. So what is pausing? Whenever the fire starts to build up and rise, ask myself this question. Is this fire a convenient escape? Or is it something that is being built right now between you and me that I can deepen this connection? And with awareness itself, I will allow the fire to be more into the conversation where it is to build connection, or ended up being led astray that thinking that I need to perform, to impress, to get more of you. And that's where the fire becomes redirected back where I want it to be, to deepen the connection, rather than let the fire burn where it is leading me, that I end up performing and chasing for the energy that fuels the fire. Another thing is, how do I transmute and redirect this energy into deep focus into my work, whether it is at the gym or, most important, during my daily meditation, the breath work. The breath work to let the fire burn inside me and to let it sit, and where it directs me into the work or the area of focus that I want it to be, and on the partner that I want it to be on. Interesting, huh? You probably heard a lot about cold showers and ice bath. I myself went to the Bali retreat itself, and every now and then, every morning, I try to soak myself in cold shower, not cold bath, like cold shower, to shock the body nervous system, so that I know, as a result of waking up, I have much more clarity rather than let the burning fire lead me where I do not want to go. And of course, powerful rituals like doing voice memos, journaling, and writing. This allows me to channel effectively into action where I want this fire to go. But the whole idea is this: we don't suppress or numb this fire. Okay, we let it flow, direct it as I write. Okay, this is where I want it to go. I am redirecting the fire where I want it to go, rather than letting it burn inside me until it becomes unbearable that I have to let it out in order to feel release. But usually it's on people, places, or substances that has meaningless, which after that I said the crash coming after that is an empty restlessness and probably even a sense of shame. So of course, having built delays gratification, the attitude of delay gratification itself, we are learning as much as possible to retain this energy inside us, so that when all this becomes unbearable, it reaches a point where, okay, it's completely unbearable. Can I push myself for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or another day? And I use this space that I'm sitting in this fire to practice understanding my emotions, journaling, and really doing the final push or work that I thought I knew I'm done, that a little bit more. And in the relationship itself, go deeper. Go one step, 1 degree deeper, where it usually was okay, and how can I make it further? And all these are guidelines, my dear friends. These are not rules that you need to adhere to. These are tools to help you navigate moving forward, because this fire is real. We are men. I'm a man. I know, the distractions are real, but the fire is also burning. This directional energy, once we start practicing and learning how to direct them to where we want them to go, it becomes very, very powerful. Instead of thinking it as a dark energy that we want to suppress or numb it, the fire is real. That's where you literally can see and sense passion into the areas of your work where usually there wasn't life, but today you breathe and brought life into it. And okay, let's end off with the ending part here. This is for my above 18 viewers. Leadership starts in the bedroom. This is a truth I have to learn the hard way, because it's tough to lead in life when I keep collapsing in this fire of lust. And today, if I'm always constantly chasing women to feel powerful, every woman that is accomplished every or even every sales that I close, I need them in order to make me feel who I am. Then that alone itself is I'm already given power away to allow others to make me okay or even powerful. The man who holds himself properly doesn't have to be perfect, but consistently we learn how to hold ourselves. The presence when we are showing up in any places can be felt. He will speak with more groundedness, breathe deeper, speak slower. And these are not behaviors that we need to remind ourselves to be, because it comes from inside when we are able to hold the fire, the depth of our conversation, the pace of how we communicate. And when we breathe, the presence, it is like an anchor rather than a performer out there trying to attract attention. We become the anchor where people come back to safely, including ourselves, that we know we can come back to this fire safely as where we are home. Not because that we are performing and well articulated. It is because we are truly grounded back home with ourselves. So ask yourself this question, my dear friends. Where is your energy now? How do you want to transmute your energy wisely today? And it is completely okay for you to pursue where you feel where you want to go, where your body draws you towards. But let me share with you one thing. Today, you know, as you are aware of your own fire building up, you have a choice. You have a choice to lit your fire to feel the temporary aliveness, or you can learn to honor, hold it, and direct it to your mission. And this is the work of the alignment. The alignment, my dear friend. And you don't need anything on the outside in order for you to release or feel okay. You just need to practice less or stop abandoning the power that's building inside us by just freely giving it away. My dear friends, thanks for tuning in to our Powers of Alignment podcast. My name is Paul Teo. If this stirs something in you, share it with a friend, with a brother who might constantly be struggling with this. And remember, attraction doesn't begin with performance. It starts with alignment. And until next time, stay grounded, stay real, and stay powerful, my dear friends.